Imagine feeling like you're floating outside your own body, seeing the world as if you're behind a screen. Sounds intense, right? That's the high that some people chase with a drug called PCP, also known as angel dust. Originally created for surgeries, this drug quickly became infamous for causing hallucinations, paranoia, and aggressive behavior. Even a small dose can change how someone sees and feels reality, but as the effects wear off, things often go from strange to scary. Let's dive into how PCP, once a wonder drug, has turned into one of the most dangerous psychedelics out there. Section 1. The Dark Origins of PCP. PCP might seem like just another illegal drug, but it started in a very different world: hospitals. Developed in the 1950s as a surgical anesthetic, it was known as Cernal. Doctors hoped it would revolutionize pain relief, but they quickly realized it was unpredictable and risky. After surgeries, patients woke up disoriented, violent, and hallucinating. These side effects were so intense that the drug was banned for human use by 1967 and limited to animals only. But even as doctors abandoned it, the drug didn't disappear. It moved to the streets, and by the 1970s, it was a popular party drug. Its reputation as a mind-bending experience made it appealing, and before long, angel dust was everywhere. Section 2. What PCP does to the brain. At first glance, PCP looks like a white powder, easily dissolved in alcohol or water. But what it does inside your brain is anything but simple. PCP blocks NMDA receptors, which are critical for learning, memory, and feeling pain. With these receptors out of commission, your brain loses its grip on reality. You might see or hear things that aren't there. And even more concerning, your sense of self can disappear. Users report feeling detached, as if they are watching themselves from the outside. This might sound exciting to some, but here's the twist: it's incredibly dangerous. When you're detached from yourself, you lose control. You might feel invincible, but that feeling often leads to risky, even deadly decisions. Section 3. The Unpredictable Effects of PCP. PCP's effects vary wildly depending on the dose. A small amount might just make someone feel euphoric and slightly out of it, with raised blood pressure and a faster heart rate. But a larger dose has the opposite effect. It can slow the heart, lower blood pressure, and reduce breathing to a dangerously slow rate. And then there are the psychological effects. People who use PCP can experience euphoria, or a feeling of extreme happiness, distorted sense of sound, vision, and touch, loss of balance and an inability to feel pain, feelings of panic, paranoia, or complete detachment, violent outbursts, often toward others or even themselves. Many of these side effects make the user seem almost superhuman. They might try to pick fights, hurt themselves without flinching, or act aggressively for no apparent reason. And because the drug is illegal, it's often made in makeshift labs with no quality control, so users never really know how much they are taking or what's mixed in. Section 4. Why PCP is still a problem today. PCP is classified as a Schedule II controlled substance in the US because of its high potential for abuse and physical dependence. That means it's illegal to make, sell, or possess it without facing serious consequences. Even though its popularity has declined since the 1970s, it's still out there, primarily made in secret labs in places like Southern California. And it goes by many names: angel dust, ozone, rocket fuel, whack, and even killer joints when mixed with marijuana. Because it's easy to disguise and quick to take effect, it still has a presence on the streets, though less visible than in its heyday. Section 5. How PCP affects health. Short-term effects of PCP are alarming, but the long-term damage can be devastating. For some, one bad trip leads to lasting issues, like hallucinations, paranoia, memory loss, and even chronic mental health disorders. These aren't just occasional flashbacks. They are ongoing issues that interfere with everyday life, sometimes for years. Imagine feeling constant anxiety, hearing voices, or not being able to remember your own experiences clearly. Users also risk severe physical side effects, including seizures, a slowed heart rate, and difficulty breathing. And when PCP is mixed with alcohol or prescription sedatives, the effects can be deadly, leading to coma or fatal overdose. Section 6. Withdrawal and Recovery from PCP. Getting off PCP isn't easy, but it's essential for anyone hoping to live a drug-free life. Withdrawal is tough, often involving cravings, confusion, and deep depression. But unlike some other drugs, PCP withdrawal isn't life-threatening. Still, it takes time, patience, and a lot of support. Medical professionals usually recommend that those trying to quit PCP seek supervised help, sometimes even hospitalization, to deal with the psychological symptoms that can linger. Counseling and support groups are also vital for addressing the mental health challenges that may surface during recovery. And the hardest part? PCP users often feel isolated, withdrawn from family and friends. Building a support system is critical. Section 7. The ongoing battle against PCP use. Over the years, PCP use has significantly decreased, especially compared to the 1970s. In 1979, around 13% of high school students reported trying PCP, while by 1990, that number had fallen to just 3%. In 2015, fewer than 1% of 12 to 17-year-olds had tried it. But despite these numbers, PCP remains a danger. The effects are unpredictable, the drug is unregulated, and the consequences can be deadly. If you or someone you know is struggling with drug use, PCP, or otherwise, help is available. Many people start with their primary care doctor, who can refer them to specialized services or local support groups. And organizations like the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, are excellent resources for anyone looking for information and assistance. Conclusion. PCP might have started as a medical experiment, but today it's a powerful reminder of how dangerous it can be to play with mind-altering substances. From hallucinations and violence to lasting mental health issues, the risks far outweigh any temporary high. And while PCP use has declined, the drug's effects serve as a stark warning for anyone tempted by the idea of detachment from reality. The reality is that there are much safer and healthier ways to cope with life's challenges. If you or someone you care about is considering PCP or already using it, remember, there's help out there. With support, anyone can break free from the grip of addiction and find a path back to a healthier, happier life.